Hi there, friends. Do you ever wake up feeling tired, feeling flat? You have a lot of plans, but when you get up, you think, I can't do any of them. I don't feel like doing any of the things that a few hours earlier felt really exciting. Well, that's how I felt this morning. I woke up tired because I didn't get much sleep, and that was because I had an idea racing through my head. Ideas can be dangerous. Now, yesterday evening, I discovered a photo and video editing app that I hadn't explored before. And yes, I got really excited. I thought, look, I could make some vlogs, play around with the app, do something creative with the app. And so I went to bed with my head buzzing with this idea. And as I was lying in bed, I was thinking, now what can I vlog about? And I made a mental list of a few things, and I couldn't get to sleep. What I really wanted to do was get up and start vlogging, but I think my husband Andy would have objected if I started setting up all my equipment here in the bedroom. He has no trouble sleeping. Yes, while I was awake and my mind was lively, he was, fast asleep. And then when the morning finally came, I thought, I can get on now and do that vlog, play around with this app. But then I thought, I don't feel like it anymore. I just feel so tired and flat, and I won't be able to, whoops, I've lost my mic. I won't be able to sound upbeat and full of enthusiasm, because that's what you got to be like when you're making a video, isn't it? Nobody wants to listen to you if you sound really tired. So I thought, what else am I going to do today? And I thought, well, one thing I've got to do is walk the dog. So I got our dog Quinn and I put her on the leash and then opened the front door and headed out. And then I discovered that it was raining out there. Not very heavy, just drizzle, but enough that I needed an umbrella. And I thought, I don't really want to go for a walk, but the dog did, and I thought if I bring the dog back, she's going to complain. So I came back, got the umbrella and went out, and it was really refreshing out there. Yeah, it might have been wet, but the air was cool, and it smelled beautiful down the bush, all earthy, and just like I like it. And as I was walking along, I was wearing the wrong clothes for walking in the bush. I had a long skirt on. Well, I've still got it on, but you can't see it. And which is probably just as well, because the bottom of my skirt, the hem, it soaked up all the puddles and the water on the grass. And yes, I've got this nice tide mark around the bottom of my skirt. Not that it bothered me as I was walking along, because I was thinking, look, I'm Elizabeth Bennet, carefree, just walking out in the bush in my long skirt, not worrying about getting dirty. You probably remember the scene or scenes of Elizabeth Bennet, being a tomboy, I guess, not worrying about her clothes, just going out there and enjoying her walks. But I was thinking, well, look, I'm not really Elizabeth Bennet, am I? I'm a lot older and not nearly as beautiful as she is. But in your imagination, we can be anybody we like, can't we? And then I was thinking, because one thought leads to another, what would Elizabeth Bennet have been like when she reached my age? Because, of course, she's a fictional character. And Jane Austen didn't tell us, did she? But maybe there is another book, another author who has continued this story and has used her imagination or his imagination. I don't know if any male authors have written Pride and Prejudice spin-offs. But yes, maybe they have imagined Elizabeth Bennet as an older woman. She probably was still beautiful. But anyway, that got me to thinking about spin-offs, Jane Austen spin-offs, the books and the movies, people that have continued the stories, used the same characters. And one of the miniseries we've watched is Death Comes to Pemberley. And we rather enjoyed that one. I think there's a book as well by P.D. James, but we haven't actually read the book. But we've watched the miniseries many, many times. And we didn't just enjoy the mystery, the detective story, seeing what the characters were like. I also enjoyed the photography. It is a really beautiful miniseries. Somebody thought very carefully about the framing of every shot. Very, very photographic, you know. Yeah, I wish I could take photos that looked as beautiful as all those frames in Death Comes to Pemberley. But a book that I have read, another spin-off, is The Other Bennet Sister by Janice Hadlow. And Imogen bought me this, my daughter Imogen. She saw it a few months ago on the shelf in a bookshop, and she looked at it and thought, Mum might enjoy that, and brought it home for me. And I did enjoy reading it. Yeah, it's a story about Mary. What might have happened to make Mary the way she was, because she wasn't that an attractive character, was she? And what happened to Mary after Pride and Prejudice finished? Was there any hope for her? Did she change? Well, Janice Hadlow used her imagination and gave us a story. And it's a big read, very fat book. And I must say I did enjoy it, though I felt it did go on a little bit too long in the later chapters. The ending could have been wrapped up a lot sooner. And I wasn't too sure about the hero. He was nice enough, but yes, I think he could have been a little bit stronger. But anyway, what was I talking about? Going out in the rain and feeling like Elizabeth Bennet and immersion in Jane Austen. That's the other thing I was thinking about. How sometimes with unschooling, we would, when my kids were younger, we would immerse ourselves in various topics. We'd we'd watch every Jane Austen production, for example, all the miniseries, all the movies. We'd read all the books. We'd go around the circle a few times. And then one day we would feel satisfied. Our Jane Austen period would be over, and we'd be looking for something else to immerse ourselves in, something maybe like Shakespeare or musicals, and we do the same thing. And we have, watched some of the Jane Austen movies and some of the Shakespeare plays many, many times, because we've come back to them. After a while, we feel like returning, dipping our toes back in again, becoming familiar with them again, and looking to see if there's anything additional that we missed the first time around. And sometimes it can be maybe a little worrying, I think, when kids focus only on one thing or two things for a period of time. You think, wow, we've done a lot of English, but what about the maths, or what about the science? But I always found that over a period of time, everything balanced itself out. We might go from Austen, and then we might immerse ourselves in some historical miniseries or science videos, documentaries. So it all worked out in the end. But yes, immersion. I guess, immersing myself in vlogging. Well, trying to get the energy and the necessary enthusiasm for making a lively vlog. I don't know what this one's going to be like. I think if I'd started out on one of those topics that I'd planned overnight, I would have been dead by now. I would have been turning this vlog off and saying, no, it's not working. But just talking about how tired I was, just admitting that I'm not feeling my best today, actually gave me a head start. And I think sometimes that is what happens, isn't it? Sometimes we try and plow on when we're not feeling 100%, try to do all the things that we had planned to do, especially with our kids, and it never works. I remember years and years ago, before I learnt better, I'd try and keep up with everything that my kids wanted me to do with them, or things that I promised, or continue doing things but started the day before, that type of thing. And before long, tiredness would overcome me, and I'd slip. I would have what we call a wobbly. Yeah, and then I would get grumpy, and oh my, things would go downhill and our days would turn into really bad days. And I think, why do we do that? Why don't we just admit that we're not up to doing whatever we'd planned? Why don't we just say, I'm tired, and then make alternative plans for the day? Just have a rest, go lie down, watch some movies with our kids, read some books maybe. Because that kind of slow day is better than a bad day, isn't it? And sometimes those slow days are the wonderful days. Sometimes things turn around and the days turn out to be a lot better than we had expected at the beginning. It's my days beginning to turn around too. I'm not feeling so down about this day. My grey clouds, well, the grey clouds are outside still, but they're not over my head anymore. And I'm thinking, well, if this vlog is anywhere half decent, I might be able to import it into that photo and video editing app and do something with it, at least play around, have some fun with it, even if I don't post it. Yeah, what could I do? I could make myself look young and beautiful, couldn't I? Use some of those filters. Probably won't make myself, did I already say this, as beautiful as Elizabeth Bennet, but I could make myself better than I look at right this moment. And I think, is that cheating? Should I look as I am, or should I fool my audience by using a filter? Well, I could look at it as it's being creative, isn't it? It's also maybe having some fun. And do we always see ourselves as we really are anyway? I've been talking to my girls about this. I say, oh, look, I look so old in vlogs. Every time I get the camera out and make a vlog, or if someone takes photos of me, all the wrinkles, they pop out. I look really old. And my girls say, Mum, you don't look like you think you look. And yeah, maybe we focus too much on the wrong things. Maybe other people don't see us that way. So I was thinking about our kids as well. We don't see them clearly all the time either. We tend to focus on the things that bug us, or the things we're worried about, things that we think we should change about our kids, and we fail to see all the subtle little things that make our kids so very special and unique. Yeah, so maybe, just getting our eye in, training our eye to look more carefully, to slow down. So I guess that's all I really wanted to say to you today. Admit you're tired, slow down, change your plans. Look very carefully at everybody around you, especially your kids. And don't be too critical of ourselves either. Have some fun, be creative. And that's exactly what I'm going to do now. So who knows what this video is going to look like in half an hour's time. So that's all. As I said, all I want to say, I should get around to just saying thank you for watching. And until next time, goodbye.